Let's start the greenhouse tour here. This is the IBC that is collecting the rainwater from the roof. And this is the electrical plug outlet GFI that I installed to power the back shed. All of that is, wires run underground here. And then I've got a 1,000 gallon per hour or so sump pump in this tank, which is connected to that pipe, which runs underground and all the way back to behind the swings there to the shed. Pause. So that same white pipe discharges here, and I just let it shoot into the tote here. So before the water actually leaves that pipe, the opposite tank is shocked with chlorine about a day or so prior to transfer, so it gives the chlorine a chance to evaporate off. That's my exterior plug here. Gotta get a plate on that, obviously, but that's the timer that runs the pump for that tank. And that runs down through here, through the greenhouse, and that feeds the drip to waste irrigation for all these plants in the bags here. I'll show you how those are strung up. Okay, so here's some beans to start off, and those are strung up just static line up here to this what is that, like a clothesline, I guess, and that runs all the way across the top. And you can see those spools there. Those are the I don't know what they're called. They're a tomato crop hook, crop spool thing, anyway, for leaning and lowering. So if you look at this cucumber plant here, it's growing very happily so far. I've got this little crop clip that holds that plant on there, and as it grows, it'll grow up the line. Here, let me show you one that's actually connected to a spool. These are all doing really, really well so far. Okay, so this one right back here, that's connected to a spool, so that line goes up here. And as the plant, once the plant reaches about this high, then you let some line out on here, you pull it down, and then you move this along so that the plant can essentially lean itself and then grow in that direction, and then follow up to the spool. So those spools are connected to cucumber plants along here, and it keeps them standing upright so that the plants and the leaves come out nice and straight. Same thing along here for the tomatoes. These are all Romas, and they're connected to crop clips as well. They're pretty sturdy right now, but as they start to get bigger and fall over, they'll want to rely on that, the weight, put their weight onto that crop clip. See, same thing over there too, right? So I'm shaking it. So all these Romas are connected there. I don't know if they're too densely, if they're too crowded right now, but everything seems to be okay. Obviously they all have their own dripper, so they're getting plenty of water and nutrients. So they should be okay. And down here we've got going from the Romas to the cherry tomatoes. These are my cherries in here. All these guys here, all cherries. Again, all connected to those tomato spools. Here are the pepper plants. They're not going to get a crop clip. I think I'm just going to bush these up, and if I need to tie them, then I will. I just don't have enough of those spools. I did have a couple of randoms. Must have been an extra seed or something like that in there, so I just stuck them in to see what happened. Same thing over here. So that's pretty much the drip to waste side of things. And then you can hear the water running in the background, and that's all for the NFT over here. Now I was going to add, I don't know, I thought about filling this entire section, but really, I don't know if I have, it's more of an experiment, so I don't really want to waste too much money on making troughs for that stuff right now. But I'll show you the plants. So these ones were planted about, man, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks ago. They should be doing a lot better, but I did have that algae bloom that kind of stunted things a little bit. So all of that, the water you hear running comes from this tank that is 30 gallons, and I've got a utility pump, quarter horse utility pump running in there. which is definitely overkill for the number of troughs that I have, because the water comes out of here like gangbusters. It's just cruising out of there like ridiculous. But anyway, I had to put something in there because the smaller one that I had just kept on crapping out on me. So these were probably ready to be eaten, and they taste pretty good actually. They're quite sweet. This is the red oak leaf lettuce. These are romaine. Down this trough here is romaine. Kales. They're not doing as wonderfully as I thought they would, but I think probably some of that had to do with that algae bloom I had. And you can see they're looking all right. They're coming in pretty good. They're starting to really put up some new vegetation there, so that's good. Strawberry experiment. This was strawberries that I had dug out of the garden. That one looks like he's doing okay. But then you got stuff like this happening, and again, that might be because of the algae, and I shocked it pretty hard with hydrogen peroxide, which makes me really want to get one of those HOCl generator thingies, because I think that would be a much better plan. So these are later starts, obviously, for the more red oak leaf and the romaine there. This trough is all celery. So I figured I'd give celery a shot. Pretty surprised actually. I was shocked that they actually did so well. Coming up pretty good. Some of them not so good. And this guy's getting eaten by somebody. That's a basil. I do have basil kind of intermingled. Over here actually there's a couple basil plants. They like extra shade. Basil plant right there. Anyway, so that's that. That's the system. And there's the giant 30-inch 10,000 CFM fan that I put in to just suck the hot air out of here, and it really does blow. So anyhow, the drippers just came on over here. So I've got those. I'll pull one out here so you can see what's going on there now. It's not a lot. Just every 60 minutes it runs for about 30 seconds, which is plenty of water throughout the day. Sometimes if it's really hot, then I'll double that, so I'll run it every 30 minutes. And that gets me about, I don't know, 25 to 30 milliliters a shot. So I'll stick that just goes right down in here, right down there, so it feeds the roots. Anyway, that's the greenhouse. Looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with what I've done here. Anyhow, that's it for today.